So if you can go to the App Store on your phone and you can download Trello, or if you don't want to download it, you can just go to the website version and see it on the website version. I had it on my slide so I could maybe go back and forth, but it's not going to be as easy to do that as I thought it would be. So
Trello, here it is. Looks like that. Go to the App Store.
Yeah, right.
I'm
hooked on the internet, but I have one bar.
My family owns Wilderness Campground in Montello.
Search and type
I
in
am a first-year board member,
Oop.
and this is my sister. I'll let her introduce herself.
My name's Laramie.
install.
I'm
And
actually
it might,
sister and work
might
at
come up
Wilderness
with like a window
Campground
that
too.
says,
And not a board member.
Does anybody currently use any, Trello, or do you use like a project management tool or list or anything?
We use, it's called Wunderlist. It's more of a checklist, but it's not as advanced.
We sort of use both. So we started with Wunderlist. It's really nice for our baby boomer staff. They really like Wunderlist.
Simple.
Yeah, it's intuitive. Trello is more complicated, but my activity staff tends to use Trello because you can do a lot more with it.
What do you use?
Trello.
You do use Trello? So if I have anything that I'm missing, you can certainly add. We started using it 2 years ago. There was a gentleman here that did a Trello class, and we had started using it then, and kind of have slowly been progressed using it a little bit more. And this year we have some changes to make, but it works well for us. So Trello is a web-based or app-based project management tool. It's based on the Kanban board system, which is what Toyota uses for their just-in-time method. It is a project management tool. You can use it for lists, to keep track of any projects, a communication tool between people. You can use it on any device, so you can get your own desktop or your phone. I really like it because on your phone, it's very, it's very basic. You see what you want to look at, and instead of being bombarded, we used to use OneNote a little bit more. I don't know if anybody's familiar with OneNote. It's a little bit more, a lot of stuff in your face at one time, where this is just, you can look at one list and see that list. So this is, when you would log in from your desktop anyways, this is what you would see. To start using Trello, you would first need to sign up. How it should work is if you're going to use it as a team, everybody would have their own account, and you can make some boards, some people can see them, some people wouldn't be able to. So you can change your view settings. So let's say you have somebody that's maybe cleaning their bathrooms, and you have like a list for them or projects for them that they need to complete. And then you have your grounds, and you have your office. Your office people wouldn't have to see everything, or vice versa. Whereas you might want somebody to see everything.
Actually got to speak up just a little bit.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's not a scheduler for employees fixing their hours.
No. But you can, in here, I intend to use it a little bit more for this. Like, you can have a board for your employees where you can have like a link to your scheduling app, or you just use like a spreadsheet or something with your schedule on it. So it's really nice for that functionality.
You can also have your handbook on it. You can have various documents. You can have, if there's time off of work, form that they fill out on it as well, if they can go and print it off. There's a lot that you can do on it, and then they can access it from elsewhere. So it has a very great accessibility.
And I'll go in depth in a little bit to show you exactly how you would attach a file to it.
Calendars and things like that.
Yeah, your calendars.
okay, so
Do you use it for your employee scheduling at all?
No.
Not for scheduling, but just for
you
a
bring it in.
specific
Oh.
place for them to come and maybe see, like, if you have.
Could you put the schedule on there if you have
Right,
a file
exactly.
or something? Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what it would look like. That's your main 4 key components. You have a board, and that's basically, like I have a board for setting up my activities. And in that board, you'll open it up, and then you can have separate lists. So a list would keep track of what they call cards. And then you can track your various stages of progress. In your list. The basic unit of a board is your card. So if everybody is on there, I can kind of show you, but I'll have it on the next page what it looks like. We use a card, or something as small as we can hand out read electric meters. It's like your actual project or an item that needs to get done. And then you have your menu on the right-hand side of your Trello board, and that's just basically your control center. You can do various power-ups, and that's what they call it, power-ups. So the basic Trello app is free. A power-up, you can have a calendar connected to a board. You can only have, with the free version, you can only have 1 power-up per board. So if you want...
Oh, I just was, sorry to interrupt you. You can have different power-ups though for different boards.
Yep.
So if you need a different power-up, you can just make a new board.
Which it's kind of hard when you have, like, if you only want to have one specific place to go, but if you have, it gives you a second place to go. It's not great.
So when you say power up,
You can, there's various power-ups, which my sister can go through in a little bit greater detail. But you can connect it to your calendar. If you use your calendars, it's got, Trello
You
has
can
great
go in and
functionality.
activate the calendar power-up, which will give you a URL that you can go and put into your Gmail account on your phone, and then it'll pop up on your phone with different things. You can access Trello off of that too, and it'll pop up right on your calendar. You can set specific dates for things, and it'll pop right up. And then also within it, there's a whole bunch of other things like labels that we can go more in depth in.
So it sounds like you can add extra features.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that base
Mhm.
feature.
Yep, so the base feature is free. Some of the power-ups are also free.
I was still
Trello has really good functionality with Google. So Google, like if you use Google Drive for anything to keep any of your documents on, you can use links from Google Drive to get into each of your
I went in through the
boards.
upstairs. That's what it came.
So I take care of the outside grounds at our park. The girls from the office send me work orders basically. You know, we're on this, that, seasonal, or this needs to get done. And they'll put deadlines on it, and it pops up on my Trello board, and it pops up on my Google Calendar.
So that's been, it's been a lot nicer communication with our office and grounds in that aspect. I mean, I don't know, we used to do the old, pen and paper, create a
Things
small-
get lost very easily that way. It even gets lost in your email too. I mean, we used to email stuff back and forth, and that, when you have so many people emailing you a day, can get lost really easily or deleted. So this way, it just has its own place. You can create specific boards and then lists within the boards, and then you can go and put it in. It's just a lot better and clearer communication.
And then can you
Instead of
check
hammered
out that item?
Yeah.
And then so you guys can see that the guys got it done?
Yeah. Initially, we were going to use it for our kids in the office. We made lists of everything that needed to get done each day. And we had wanted to see in real time, because you can see in real time, they'll cross something off their to-do list. However, you get busy in there, stuff doesn't get crossed off the computer. We also didn't have a way of knowing who did that
So
task.
there was no personal accountability.
Yeah.
So we decided.
So we started printing off the list straight from Trello, and
We just have them as files on Trello now, where they can go and print it off, and then go and take it off that.
that's just for in our office though. Like for outside grounds, it works really well to know when things are done.
So you're saying in the office, you weren't able to have a separate office board and allow the kids to use Trello as it sort of was designed, it wasn't working for you that way to?
It would
to
have
them
worked,
put
but
it to done?
as we know, it will get busy in there, and
Yeah. They weren't transferring from to do to done or whatever
Yeah.
when they should have, and
yep. And the other problem is, you don't have a lot of time to put your initials in it, so we didn't know who was doing what in some
doesn't
things.
Trello keep track of that? If they each have their own account, and they
We
move
don't
it-
have it set up that way.
Oh, how come?
We're gonna,
For that.
portion, that would help a lot if we did have it set up that way, but not everybody has access. I mean,
And when you're talking about those kind of lists and the people, I mean, that means they would have to go out of it, log out, log back in their own, go and view that list, and
Are
then
they
go
doing it
through
on
it.
the desktop or on
Yes.
your phone?
They're doing on a desktop.
Yeah.
We
we
don't
didn't
let them
really
have
want
phones
them
in the office.
having their own device in the office.
We used
Oh,
to be the
I see.
outside grounds,
Yeah.
people have their phones.
But I mean, they have their device in their
Kids
pocket,
and
but you don't want
phones
them
in
to
the
use
office
it,
do not mix.
Yeah.
you know.
We had thought about having a tablet as well, just for, those specific people. But it also does get harder when they're, scooping an ice cream cone and then they have to, it was just easier to have it printed out from there. And sometimes, we can go in real quick and do it for them, but we ran out of time. So it doesn't really work as well for that as we thought it would. There is a power up in there called Card Repeater, where, let's say you have certain things that you do Mondays or Tuesdays or whatever, you can have that specific card. So for example, we do our wood orders and our bait or worm orders on Mondays. So on Mondays, I'll have that, those specific things that we do show up on a card in the office. And then we cross those out on the list. And that is mostly whoever is doing more management type stuff in the office. So that works well. Okay, so card descriptions. So if you're going into a card, you can give your card more of a description. And that's what you would see on your board. So you would see that card description. On the comments and activity part, I'll use that for making notes. Let's say, for example, there's a project that needs to be done, or a seasonal has found something. I'll make specific notes in there for my dad so that he can read further into what is the issue.
So an example, let's say somebody's GFI is not working and it needs to be fixed by not necessarily today because they're not here at the park, but they're gonna be back on a different day. You can go in, put the notes in it, whose site number it is, who actually took the note, can put their information, what date the note was put, i.e. all that. And then what day the seasonal is actually coming back. So if it doesn't have to be done right away, it's all in there, so it's clear.
This is a little bit more functionality that you could add to each card. So you, like my dad mentioned before, you can add a due date. You can add attachments to your cards. So I use for myself, like our marketing materials, I have that in there, so I'll attach it so that we can go back and see, because we do like an RV show coupon. So sometimes in the office, I kind of forget, what did we do a coupon for, or what did that coupon exactly say? So then it's a quick place, rather than having it downloaded on every single computer that we have, or having it printed out everywhere we're at. It's a quick place where we can go click on it, open it up, and see what it was, or even a digital copy of our brochure. I mean, you could go to your website and see that information as well, but sometimes it's just one place that everything can be. Oh, she's working on it. Laramie's just gonna try to pull it up on Trello so we can kind of visualize it a little bit better. We kind of talked a little bit about power-ups, and I can show you some more once we get to Trello. we also have in your handout, there's a list of resources. We watched a lot of YouTube videos. I actually use Trello myself personally for like my family lists. And it works really well for like making a grocery list, and my husband can also look at that grocery list.
Do you keep it all in one account for that
I
purpose?
don't, just because I don't know. I have 2 separate accounts.
I'm just curious.
Keep
Does it work
it
better
sep-
for you that way then?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little bit annoying because it's not like, Facebook where you can go out of one account and click on another account. You actually have to log out, go back, and log it back in. So it's, you could. I could do that. I just didn't set it up that way initially, and now I just leave it separate.
So this is just how it actually pops up on your computer. So what Ashley was talking about with boards is like,
Go to the activity and planning one. So-
this is just an example of what you can do with it.
So I really like this because I'm a very visual person, and when I'm setting up the activities for the weekend, I a lot of times like to have everything all in one spot. I used for the longest time, I would use like just a Microsoft Word document and have it all like just down. But you kind of lose functionality with that. You can do links, but it doesn't always work the greatest. So I attached, I don't know if you go to the calendar here. So here's your card. I just attached like a picture of a calendar so I can physically see the dates and look at it. And to do that, you would go to attachment, and you can click on computer. So if you have a file on your own computer, you can get it from there. You can also take files from other places in your Trello. Your Google Drive, like I mentioned before. Dropbox, I don't know if anybody uses Dropbox, but we do, and I can get some stuff from there too. Oh yeah, we can. And then, you can copy a link of a photo. So I would do that. So like pictures of activities that I'm doing with the kids, I will copy a link of the actual photo to put it in there and to kind of remind myself of what it is.
The photos so like if you attach photos as an attachment, do they upload in full resolution, or do they?
That I don't know. I'm not really sure because that would work really nice for like Facebook, but I'm not really sure on how it loads.
I'll do some research.
But like I put a picture of like the movie that I would possibly like to show, as long as it's under our license. And I also have, I did also, I don't know where I have it right now in here, but I saved like our Swank, like the link to go there, and then also like a link to see the movies that you can do. So
let's go back, show them how to make a board. So they
Yeah.
actually.
yeah. So if I go to your main page,
I can hand.
okay, we're going to show how to actually make a board right now, so everybody can follow along with that from the beginning. Okay. A lunch board.
Sounds good.
Okay.
To me.
You gonna make a board?
Yep, I am, and I'm going to do it on my phone too at the same time so you can walk it through. So if you're on your laptops, you can hit the plus button in the top right corner. If you are on your phone on the app, there should be a plus button in the top right corner as well. And then it'll present you with create a board if you're on a laptop. On your phone, it'll instantly go to name, and then you name your board. So in this case, we're going to do lunch.
No. You can have as many boards as you would like.
And then you can customize your backgrounds too. You can switch it around. You can even upload pictures. If you wanted to upload a picture, put it as your background, you can do that. But just for purposes, we're going to go with
Blue or green.
green right here for right now. And then you can also see on it, you see that you can choose personal, private, or you can invite other Trello members to it. And this is how
That's
your
how
other
you
members.
would make it that view who you want to be able to view it. So you, right.
So, I could do mine, I can't remember what mine is right offhand, but you just click on that.
And you can
put
just,
in their email address, and then you easily add them in.
yep, you can just use their email address to add them as long as they're using that specific email address for their Trello account.
So once you're done in your phone, you'd simply hit create in the top right corner, and then your board is created, and then instantly comes up is add list.
So add list. So in lunch, let's do like your main entree.
Let's just put,
Lunch meat.
well, we can do sandwiches, and then, there we go.
Okay. And then, so under your add card, so if you clicked on add card, so you could use that for, let's say you're gonna have 3 different types of sandwiches below that. You could have your 3 different types of sandwiches options.
PB and J.
Bologna, Bologna,
There we go.
and
We
BLT.
can do BLT. Yeah. My typing skills are not very good right now at this angle. You're gonna have to bear with me. And we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
So,
So then go into one of the cards, or one of the,
so in here, now we're inside the card when you actually select it.
so inside this card is where we would create a checklist.
Go right
So if you click on your checklist there,
You can actually title.
you can title your checklist. So we need bread. I don't know. So you need to put on there, need to buy bread. So you have you can just do one. So as you can see, there's like that little checkbox on the side of bread, peanut butter. You can click on those. And then there's actually a percentage above that would eventually, if you clicked on all of them, it would say 100% complete. Yep.
There's another little box where you can hide the ones that are completed.
Yep. You can also,
So,
yeah,
So-
put your description.
an overview of this whole thing, you go to the home page, that's gonna give you a whole list of your boards.
Mm-hmm.
You click on a board,
Yeah.
that brings up a whole bunch of cards.
Yeah, correct.
You go into the cards, and that's what brings this up.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to go, well, if you want to go to due date, just show them how to do the due date.
And right here is where you can attach your due
Due date.
dates. So let's say we're having lunch tomorrow, the 16th, or the 17th. Save, you can actually add a time to that, and then it pops the due date on this corner. And then if you were to do the calendar power up, there's this lovely little button to the side right here that says get power
You can
ups.
click on it.
Where is it now? I think it's a little further down. It's not my computer.
Do like Google Calendars, just search Google Calendars.
What's the difference between a label?
We'll get to
So-
our
Yeah, so labels are really nice. Okay, so I will go over this real quick with everybody. So I think this is the best thing that we've done with it, and it's maybe not meant for this, but it works really well. So we use Trello for keeping track of our phone messages, or our voicemails that we get in. So we have created labels. So called back is one of our labels. The other label is called and spoke with.
or unable to leave a message,
Unable-
phone number, or
Yep.
emailed.
Because sometimes people call and leave a message and they leave the wrong phone number, or their voicemail box is full. So we have specific labels that you can see. And the nice thing about this is that we've had people say, "Oh, I've tried calling several times and nobody's called me back." And we can go in and see exactly. I'm sorry, what?
No, speak up a little bit more.
Oh, we can go in and exactly see because we keep track of the date. It keeps track of the date in there when you call back.
And then we have that label to know exactly what happened. Sometimes people don't know that their voicemail box is full because they don't check in. So,
So you put all of your voice messages in Trello right when you get them?
Yep.
Rather than like writing them on a piece of paper or whatever?
Yep, correct, because then you eliminate that you don't have to read somebody else's handwriting. And then you can easily store it instead of having 20 different notepads. You don't have to have that out on your desk. You don't have to be searching around for your notepad. You don't have to be asking,
Yeah.
well, what did you do with it last?
Yep.
Can you read this number for me, because I can't read it.
So it's all kind of typed up and we have all that information in there. So if we do need to send an email to my dad or put something in his inbox, we can take that card and you can actually move it to another box.
Which is
Or
this
another card.
lovely button right here
Yep.
that says move. So you can even switch your board. So let's say I wanted to move it to something, obviously not in this case, but marketing and advertising. Click that, and then select what list you want it to go to as well, and you can move it over. It would no longer be in this board, it'd be over into that board.
This is pretty powerful.
It is.
Very.
There's
Yeah.
we do our weekend waiting list on it, we do our activities, everything.
I don't know, I hope it stays that way. But yeah, like Laramie said, we do our weekend waiting list on there because then you can do it by weekends. Our seasonal waiting list is on there. So when I'm doing my callbacks, when I know when seasonal sites are open, I will, after I've called them, I will move them over into a different box, like keep on waiting list or
Show us the
archive.
drop so they can have a vision.
Oh, sure.
There must be some paid.
The paid,
Buy a paid version.
you can buy the paid version, which you can use more of the power-ups, gives you ability to use all of the power-ups. Some of the power-ups are really costly. Like we were looking at, what was that one? It would send you a text message.
This is really sweet, and I wish it wasn't
Yeah.
expensive, but it is, and it's new. Like, they have an actual one where it keeps track of all your licenses and when they are expiring, and you can put all your paperwork into it, all your file documents, and it'll send you an email and text messages. However, like, the basic version of that is $12 a month, so
Yeah.
it's really not necessary.
So it's another cost you have, but
That's really neat.
I'm sorry, I thought she was done.
So this tool is so valuable, if it just were even for yourself to make a whiteboard in your pocket and multiple different whiteboards, like all the outside work, all this, board for, groceries or whatever, your list.
Yep.
It's so valuable, but the fact that you can share it and everyone that you choose on your team can
See it.
exactly and interact with it. It's just so invaluable. But my question, I'm having a little difficulty on teams. Do you have your teams separated at all? Or
We're working on that because we're going to set it up better or differently.
Does the room know about that? Because I created a team and I thought everybody that was a member of my team would just automatically be able to see all those boards, but it's not working that way. It seems
Yeah.
like I have to go invite them on every board.
Yep.
You would.
Oh, you do
Yep.
have to invite them on
You have to
every.
You-
do on every
Yep.
single- if you want
The
certain
team
people
you
to
have
see.
to invite to the board. You don't have to invite the individuals. So you set up your teams, and then you have to tell the boards which team
Right.
gets associated with their
Right, well,
board.
that's what I did, but it's not showing up on my team's board. All the boards that I have associated with a team are not showing up on their screen. That's fine.
Maybe you can figure out how to do that.
They
That's
Yeah.
should. The only thing is there is a different thing, I believe, where, I don't know if the Android version has it, where you can see like my board, where it's like, so like, let's say me and Joe and Jerry were a team, and, Jerry was sending, like, putting stuff for the team, but then she wanted me specifically to complete a task. The board isn't gonna show up on my to-do list, that's like a specific thing that you click, unless Jerry adds me as being responsible for it, but I should be able to see the board that we share.
You should be able to see the board, yeah.
I should be able to see it, but it wouldn't come up under like my cards or my board.
Well, I'm gonna keep pursuing it then. That was my main question was I crazy that if you had a board under a team, shouldn't that team member be able to see it?
Have they all signed up for Trello? Like, are they all signed up, people? Oh, okay,
Yep.
so they have.
They all have their own individual accounts and
I'm not sure. Do you want to set up members? Okay.
So,
Oops, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
For the, you said you put phone messages on it, which is a really neat idea. How many phone messages can it take?
As many as we
Going
take.
for almost a year now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Up to like 50 messages on one list.
And the nice thing is so like you can have, do you want to go into our phone message board real quick and we'll come back to this?
So after you hit 50 messages, then what happens?
So let's say, for us anyways, we'll keep a list of each day. And then that way, like when we're done all through that list and we've called everybody back, you can archive it, but you don't have to archive it. Let's say like you decided to keep it visible for a month. Then you could archive it at a month. But this is like, the storage of it is endless. Like you could have 100 calls in a day. There's not a cutoff.
So do you keep them by day? So
Mm-hmm.
each day is a new board?
Not a new board. We set up as a card. Each day would be a new card, and each person that calls in is part of that.
That card?
Yeah. So it's in your list. Weren't you logged in already?
I was going to ours.
Oh.
Ours, but we have to keep secrets. There's no secrets in it. But evidently, I can't remember my password.
It's not info. You just leave. It's just Wilderness Campground.
Yeah. Oh, because it's signed up underneath your name, isn't it? There we go.
Page not found.
I don't understand.
There it goes. Okay. So go to our phone.
Now,
So this is the board. The voicemail phone messages is its title, and then Laramie took them today, and she's got our messages on there, like from today. That list could go all the way down. You could keep adding a phone call, that phone call would be the card. Each, yeah.
so, yep, you can keep going.
Yep.
And then you can actually archive these lists too, so you don't have
To
100
see every day.
deals on a board.
And the nice thing is even if you archive something, you can get back to it.
Later. So let's say,
So if you go, yep.
So for tomorrow's list,
So you would add another list, and we would say 319, or whatever day. We have 38. She has to call 318 on there, so we'll call them when we're back in the office.
so you basically keep that until those have all been called back?
Right.
And then you archive it?
After you call them back, what do you do with them to?
Okay. So, can you click on Laramie? Can you click on Patty? Just click on Patty's message right there. So when we call them back, if you see the little thing that says labels. So we'll click on labels, and we have called and talked to, left a message, no need to call back, and we'll select the label for each one. Because sometimes people will call and email, so we'll respond to email.
But they still stay in that same list, though?
Right.
You just check with
Yep.
them.
yeah, correct. So you can always go back and reference.
Mm-hmm.
You can create, I believe, as many labels as you want to. There's an infinite number of ways to customize it for your own needs.
So, do you want to go to let's go into want to make a team, or into a team?
I think we set it up in Teams this, properly. So I had to go back and go into the other one.
Can we try to do, just the start of one? So we're going to just go through and create a team real quick. So we'll name our team.
It's that same upper right button right here. You can choose these 3 deals. Creating teams, Waco team.
And then from here is you'd select your preferences, your colors, whatnot. But your members, so you can invite somebody that is not on Trello, and then it will send them an email and invite them to log into Trello or to set up an account in Trello. It doesn't have to be somebody already in Trello.
Created a team, but how do I add a member to my team?
That is actually what I'm doing right now. So if you have their email address,
Yeah,
so see,
I have that, but I mean, I'm saying in my mobile version here, where do I access
Oh,
window to invite someone to a team?
so
it should be up in that, right? I have.
Laramie's gonna get her phone up and going. I could probably get my phone up too.
It would still be.
Maybe, I guess maybe,
There's some things with the mobile that it's not as easy to add things in.
yeah.
You're better off going in and doing it on the computer first and then accessing it later on your mobile phone. Setting it up properly on your laptop first.
So if you're creating a team, I think you're gonna have to do that from your PC, not your mobile device. It would have to be from a PC.
The good thing about Trello is that they're always constantly working on it and updating it. So maybe
Louder,
the
Laramie.
mobile app one day will be a little more user friendly in that regard. They're always constantly updating it. Like this entire interface of it has completely changed.
Yep, so what she's saying is, I don't think people can hear you. So what she's saying is Trello is constantly doing updates. So it could get to that point where if you're on your mobile device, you could possibly be able to do that someday because they're constantly doing updates. Yeah, I mean, it is a really powerful tool. I really enjoy using it. We are trying to use it more and more and more because there's so much that you can do with it. Like I said, I really like doing it for, like, our favorite things that we use it for are activities, and then communication between the outside and the inside, and phone messages has been the best. And our waiting lists, that's been awesome too.
So do all your outside staff members have Trello as well and you like assign tasks to them?
That is the game's
Okay.
They do. I think Tony is the only one that doesn't right now.
Bill has a track.
You know, the one thing you could do is if, yeah, you want to go on the
Yeah, I
task?
think, you probably can, I mean, if you create a list for somebody, you can still print it out.
Yes,
So-
you could print out that list. If it's easy to print out those lists. They print out. There's a button to print on here. If you want to go to one, Bear, we can show them where the print button is. So you can print out your lists and give it to them. That's a really easy option. The other thing you could certainly do is if one of your employees didn't have a smartphone, we have some old smartphones that we could give them, or not give them, but allow them to use while they're in the park or whatever. If you have a spot where a Wi-Fi hotspot, they could come in the office and load it, because obviously you need internet for that to get on there. Right. It's okay, but you could do that.
Is there an email address where, so like, is there a way on Trello where I can email something
There.
from my email account?
Yes, each Trello board actually has their own individual email addresses. Like, so let's say you want something to go to this inbox board specifically. This board itself has its own email address in it.
The
So you-
board or the list?
The board, but you can set it to go to the list into the inbox, which I do with my dad's occasionally.
Do you want
I
to?
don't use it, I don't find myself using it because it's already there at that point in time. Why not just pull up Trello, type it in, be done, instead of emailing it? It's just one more step.
Well, we actually, with our VoIP phone, we get our voicemails in our email.
Oh.
So that's why I was
Then
wondering.
that's a.
That would
then
work
that's a
well.
good use for it.
Yeah.
I just don't have that use for it right now. So it's in here. There's a menu off to the side, show menu. You go to more. And again, this is not gonna be on your phone. Email email to board settings, and then this is the email address for this board.
Perfect.
So.
And then
you can actually set it up to go to that inbox too.
And that is also, I don't know if you guys have seen that, but that's where you would go to print your list too prior to that. If you go back one thing, print and export. You can export it as a list, but you can also go, if you go right into one of the lists, if you go to your 100-pound propane, WB13, where would you go to print it from here? Click on the, it's been a while.
There we go. It's on the bottom. It's just a different computer than mine, so excuse me for a little bit here. Come on now. Keep clicking on the things.
Oh, there it is. So when you click on,
No, it's not.
it's not
I
there.
just keep clicking around on it, and it's not my computer, so I'm not used to it.
Print under share.
Sorry, not my laptop, not used to it, not used to setup. So.
So you would just go to share and you can print it from there.
Actually, I have used a scheduling program called When I Work, and I apologize if you already went over this, I was playing around in Trello. Can you make a schedule in Trello, or do you make it and then upload it?
You can, the best way that we're gonna use it more is make our schedule elsewhere, and then you would attach that schedule in here, like under a board. And then it's one place for them to come. When I Work is nice because they can go straight to that When I Work. You don't really.
It just has a monthly cost, so I was gonna say if you can do it
Oh.
through Trello.
Yeah.
I love When I Work, I think it's like 25 a month. That's what we have, but it depends on how many employees we have.
Yeah, that's true. Depends on how many employees. We just,
How much is $8 a month?
80.
Yeah, but it's saving like 30 hours a week.
Yeah.
I mean, it's scheduling.
Which schedule did you use, Rich?
What?
When I Work.
When I work is
I call it when donut.
You guys like that one?
But
I do.
let's say like we had different things in this inbox, like 100-pound propane tank, GFI, and let's say site, B13, all different kinds of things, or you needed to schedule a backwash of your pool. So now the cool thing about this is your labels, and one thing we had discussed for our own use was assigning each person a different label color for like outside grounds use. So that's where the customizable
Yep.
ways come into play.
You can really customize it to whatever you need it to be. That's the one thing that's really nice is you can do various things with it and make it work for you. It's not a one size fit all type of thing. It's really neat.
Wow.
Yeah.
This almost allows me never to talk to anybody.
It would be really nice if it had like a check-in option too, so people can just check themselves in when they come into your park. You don't even have to be there. You don't even have to be at your campground.
Nope, you don't have to worry about it saving, it saves on its own.
Yeah.
It just does it.
I can't tell you how many times that I would be, can you go to my real activity schedule? Like I would be making a Word document for my activity schedule and my computer would do an update and didn't do the autosave, or I just exited out or just didn't save for some odd reason. And this is just nice because you can, I did everything on my phone this year for scheduling our activities. So each weekend has its own card, and I just have a list of everything. If you go down, a list of everything. I use it. It's really cool for like ideas because you can.
You looking for a job?
They're driving a hard bargain, Mom.
Start talking to guys.
Hey, Lori tried selling me off to Pennsylvania to somebody else.
Yeah.
When you assign someone a task, they get a notification on the phone?
There is a power up that you could do that.
What was the question?
A notification on their phone.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and if they have the Trello app on their phone, yes, they would get a notification. If you have that, if you allow that to make your notification for you.
Yeah, it wouldn't be great if you could, when you're assigning the task, you could
So-
decide whether they get a notification or not.
I wish
I
I
don't-
wish I could.
Really pressing, maybe go to the floor.
I don't think it does that. And the other thing that would be nice is if you could tell if somebody actually looked at that or not, but it doesn't have that functionality. But that would be really cool. Some of them, no. Some of them I might like use in our handout. A lot of it's just so that, like I said, I'm a very visual person.
What's the one with the question about seeing it on your phone?
Well, I think you can't do notifications.
So this is kind of the cool thing with the URLs and enabling the calendar app. I'm trying to figure out with this computer. But, so going back with those labels for assigning for specific people, those labels will actually show up on your calendar with due dates too, specifically too, and you can copy that URL. I'm just trying to figure out how to do it on this computer.
You might not be able to because your calendar's not on there. Your own personal calendar's not.
But you can put it in this.
I don't think you're gonna want to put your calendar in there.
Still, it's the same. But still, you can do that.
They'd be seeing all your doctor's appointments. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, do you guys want to see my doctor's appointments? But you can do it that way, and then your labels will show up. So like that 100-pound propane tank, where you want certain people to go and do that. So you have their names as different colors, and that will show up on the phones as long as they have that URL into their phone copied into their calendar.
Yeah.
It's a little hard to show right now.
Does anybody have any questions?
I'm sure.
Yeah, what time is it? Yeah,
It's like 11.
that computer's off. Yeah.
Yeah, there's an infinite number of things that you can do. Show me somewhere we have it all on our website.
Oh, see, there's my movie license thing. I can go in there and see if they're okay.
Can you put your activities in there and everything? Like, then what are you gonna do?
I just, for myself, so then I know, like when I go to create the handout for that specific weekend, or let's say, or putting it into our events calendar, or,
I didn't know if you had like a whole flyer created in there and you were gonna like share that
well,
out to your customers somehow?
well, my plan is to actually have, once I get because I'm gonna do my weekend handouts ahead of time, and until I have to make, so I'll have each of my weekend handouts in there too, for each weekend. I really wanna make it so it's so like easy that somebody could go do my job for me, if I'm like,
If you're gone.
when I, yes, yeah.
That's a good plan.
Yeah, and like the waiting list thing is really awesome because there's been so many times where we would have like a paper list started and
then you'd lose
somebody
it, or
accidentally
somebody
threw it away or somebody crossed somebody out that shouldn't have been crossed out.
Or you couldn't read the handwriting
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, and so it's just such a, it's so much easier to be able to have it on the computer and then you can make notes on there when you call them back and yeah. Yeah.
You do one board for each
Weekend?
Each weekend.
weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Works the best way, I think, that way so far for us.
Yep.
So,
Any things that you had mentioned that categorization or things, okay, that's the way we thought it was gonna work, but we really are now doing it in a different way. Just
I would
Well-
say the biggest thing was that card repeater power up just did not work the way that we thought
Yeah.
it would. And we were gonna use that for cabin rental cleaning and it just didn't work very well for us. And maybe there's another way we could figure it out this year, but
I
just
guess
takes more
like
playing with.
we had thought maybe like our cabin cleaners would use like a check off list on there, but they really don't want to have to haul all their stuff around that they're cleaning with along with that and do it on a device. They would rather just do it on paper. So like I said, we have those lists on here and then we print them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to think if we do anything else cool with it. We do a lot of ideas on there because the whole picture function, seeing
And
your,
then you don't have to email and worry about an email going through or putting in something wrong. You can just go and access it, update it in real time between each other.
The other thing, this is one thing that we're gonna do this year that we have not done in the past, our seasonals. So we, in the office, obviously, we have a reservation system and we can easily get to their contact information. But my dad is down at a different office and doesn't have that reservation system. So we're gonna I'm gonna use Google Sheets, so it's like a document that we can change, like if somebody changed their address or whatever, to export our list from our reservation system to of our seasonals. So my dad can be at the shop and doesn't have to call us and say, hey, what's this person's phone number? He can get it himself from Trello.
The only thing I would mention, because we had a pitfall with that, and I don't know the details, this is very much an Adam department, but we had like a website that had a link to our spreadsheet, and it was compromised, and we found out it was a liability issue within Trello. It might be okay because there's already a password, but I know Adam was concerned about double
things?
authentication and that sort of thing. So that's just
Well,
something that we came across.
within Google Sheets, you have to, you can make it public, but we don't make our Google Sheets public. I have it set up so like if I only want my dad, well, Ben could actually see it because I used that account. That's what I used for him. So Ben could see it. Don't be stealing my business. Yeah. So I can make it on there. So only this specific person, and I can send them that, and I can do that through Trello. So it could just be a board that I would only set up as his specific account to be able to see. So hopefully that would be okay. I don't know. I might want to look at that a little further. We have not done that yet. I just get annoyed because my dad would be like, who is this person's email address? I have to go look it up, and I just think it just seems so stupid. But we don't want to have a hard document saved to his computer because people's addresses change, things change, and it's so much easier to have a place to go to. So,
You just create a board and then you're gonna upload to that board.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Do you use Google Sheets at all for anything?
I think a good recommendation for this actually would be in your Google Drive. If you get everybody to use their Google account to log into Drive and Trello, it would be the same email address. So then you could go into your Google Drive, create a folder for like Wilderness Team or whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
And share that team with the same Google accounts as your Trello.
Okay.
And then anybody that clicks on the link in Trello would then have access to. But when you set up a new member in Trello, you have to set it up on that folder as well. Just a thought.
Okay.
And then that would allow you to keep it so that way you don't have to set the sheets as public or anything like
Right,
that.
yeah.
So, just a thought.
Yep. So do you follow along? Okay.
Yeah. I can talk.
I don't know. I also saw. Has anybody used Google Forms at all? I've seen you guys used it, and now we started using it. I've used it personally for a few things, but that's super awesome. I love it.
What are you talking about for your employment applications?
No, I just use Google Forms for so we allow our seasonals through our reservation system to charge or not to their account.
To charge what?
To charge guests or not to their account. Some like to pay for their guests, some want their guests to pay for themselves. So I set up a Google form and push it out to our seasonals via email or on our group page on our Facebook page, asking them how they wanted to handle that, rather than waiting till spring, so we get an idea now, and I can make another
it's a good way to
spreadsheet.
pull people quickly.
Right. Yeah.
To your point, and then you get it all in a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
So it's really easy to track.
Yeah. Yeah. I had no idea that was even a thing, because when you click on your little Google thing, it doesn't show up. It's like they want to hide that from you. They don't want. They don't want you to know about it.
To your point, in your drive, you have to create it like you would a document, kind of, is what I think you're trying to say, right?
Well,
I
I clicked on your link to forms, and I saw that it was like just /forms from Google, and I was like, oh, so now I just type it in myself to find it. I don't know. 3 minutes. Does anybody have any questions on Trello? No?